Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In the mid-1990s, Hollywood was a kingdom of glamour, excess, and tabloid fodder. Yet even in a city where scandals were practically a currency, few stories gripped the world as much as the separation of Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise. Their union had once symbolized the pinnacle of Hollywood romance, an actress of ethereal elegance and a superstar with unparalleled charisma. When whispers of their impending divorce began circulating, it wasn't just a split, it felt like the end of an era. Nicole Kidman, then in her late 20s, had achieved cinematic acclaim with performances in films like Dead Calm and Days of Thunder, showcasing a range that could oscillate between delicate vulnerability and ferocious intensity. Tom Cruise, by contrast, was an action hero and heartthrob, seemingly untouchable, whose box office draw and cult-like fan devotion made him one of the most powerful men in Hollywood. Together, they were a perfect storm of talent, beauty, and magnetism. Yet beneath the glossy veneer, differences simmered, differences that would eventually catalyze a separation so high-profile it would set the blueprint for celebrity divorces decades later. The calm before the public storm. Unlike many modern celebrity splits that unfold across Instagram stories or TMZ headlines, Kidman and Cruise's divorce happened in an era when the public's understanding of private matters was mediated largely through newspapers, magazines, and television. There was a certain mystique to their relationship, cultivated both by the Hollywood machine and the couple themselves. Public appearances were carefully staged, and interviews were strategic, offering glimpses of affection but rarely substance. Kidman, astutely aware of the precarious balance between her public image and personal life, chose discretion. She navigated her separation not with grand public statements, but through a quiet recalibration of her career and personal narrative. By the time the divorce was finalized in 2001, Kidman had already begun reclaiming her individuality, not as Tom Cruise's wife, but as Nicole Kidman, an artist in her own right. It is crucial to recognize the timing. Kidman's divorce predates the social media era. There were no Twitter threads to dissect her every move, no Instagram reels chronicling her moods or family moments. In a sense, the lack of digital immediacy gave her space, a buffer to grieve, reflect, and reinvent herself without constant external scrutiny. Strategic career moves. Reclaiming identity. Post-divorce, Kidman approached her career with deliberate focus, understanding that her personal narrative and professional trajectory were intertwined. She selected roles that challenged perceptions of her and allowed her to step out of Cruise's shadow. Films such as Moulin Rouge and The Hours didn't just earn critical acclaim, they positioned her as a fearless actor willing to embrace complexity, even controversy. This was no small feat. The entertainment industry, particularly in the early 2000s, had a way of pigeonholing women who went through high-profile divorces. Kidman's strategic role selection showcased a kind of preemptive defense against being typecast as a divorced celebrity. By letting her work speak, she controlled the narrative without uttering a single word about her private struggles, a masterclass in reputation management. Privacy is a weapon. One of the most remarkable aspects of Kidman's approach was her unwavering commitment to privacy. Despite intense media speculation, she rarely engaged directly with rumors or gossip. Instead, she leveraged the power of silence, a tactic that allowed her to maintain dignity and authority over her story. Unlike today, where celebrities often feel compelled to respond immediately to every leak or online rumor, Kidman's era allowed for a slower burn, time to frame her story on her own terms. This emphasis on privacy also extended to her personal relationships. Post-Cruise, Kidman met Keith Urban, and while their courtship was eventually public, the couple was deliberate in curating how much of their personal life reached the cameras. Kidman had learned firsthand that controlling the narrative wasn't about avoidance but about choice, deciding which moments to share and which to guard fiercely. Emotional resilience and reinvention. Divorce, particularly in the glare of Hollywood scrutiny, is both a personal and professional crucible. For Kidman, it was an opportunity to rebuild, not just her public persona, but her inner life. Reports from close friends suggest that she focused on emotional growth, self-awareness, and introspection, using the experience to better understand what she valued in relationships and career alike. Her resilience was further evident in the way she navigated the public's fascination with her ex-husband. Tom Cruise's high-profile relationships and public image could have easily overshadowed her own story. Yet Kidman remained unflinching, refusing to participate in any media spectacle that sought to compare her life choices or demean her legacy. In this way, she became a blueprint for dignified separation, a model for anyone navigating personal upheaval under public scrutiny. setting a template for future celebrity divorces. Fast forward 24 years, and the template Kidman helped establish remains relevant. When Keith Urban's rumored split dominates headlines, observers see echoes of her strategy, discretion, selective narrative control, and a deliberate separation of personal and professional spheres. Unlike the sensationalized splits that dominate today, Kidman's model demonstrates that it is possible to maintain both dignity and career momentum, even amid intense public interest. Her approach also underscores the role of timing and preparation. Kidman didn't immediately announce her intentions or capitalize on tabloid frenzy. Instead, she allowed her story to unfold with measured precision, giving herself time to heal and reinvent, and ensuring that her narrative was not dictated by external forces. Lessons from Kidman. Modern implications. Nicole Kidman's handling of her divorce from Tom Cruise offers several lessons that remain relevant in the celebrity landscape today. Privacy is power. In an era of instant news, discretion allows for control. Kidman's silence shielded her from unnecessary drama and speculation. Reinvention through work. Career choices can redefine public perception. By taking on complex, award-winning roles, she shifted the conversation from her personal life to her professional excellence. Narrative control. Choosing what to share, when, and how is a form of agency. Kidman curated her story carefully, a strategy that keeps her legacy intact decades later. Emotional resilience. Celebrity divorces aren't just public, they're intensely personal. Kidman's focus on growth and self-understanding allowed her to navigate both with grace. Subtlety trumps spectacle. Unlike contemporary celebrity splits that often descend into social media wars, Kidman's restraint set a precedent for maintaining dignity in the face of scrutiny. Reflections. The woman behind the glamour. Perhaps what makes Kidman's approach so enduring is her humanity. Beyond the glitz and tabloids, she emerged from her divorce as a woman who understood her own value, not as a partner to a superstar, but as an individual of immense talent, intellect, and resilience. Her story is a reminder that even amid public obsession, one can carve out a private life of meaning and dignity. When fans today watch the ups and downs of celebrity relationships, from Keith Urban's headlines to any number of high-profile divorces, Kidman's experience serves as a quiet masterclass. The world may scrutinize every photo, every interview, and every social media post, but the power ultimately lies in how one chooses to respond. Conclusion. A legacy of strength and strategy. Nicole Kidman's divorce from Tom Cruise wasn't just a personal turning point, it was a moment that reshaped how celebrity separations could be handled. With a combination of discretion, strategic career choices, and emotional resilience, she navigated one of Hollywood's most intense personal upheavals and emerged with her identity, dignity, and career intact. Today, as other celebrities navigate similar storms under even more intrusive digital scrutiny, Kidman's example resonates. It reminds us that divorces, no matter how public, can be handled with grace, control, and foresight. She didn't just survive her split, she redefined it, leaving a blueprint for generations of stars to follow. In a world obsessed with spectacle, Nicole Kidman showed that sometimes, silence, strategy, and inner strength speak louder than any headline. And perhaps that's why, 24 years later, her approach feels not just relevant, but revolutionary.